All right, you guys, you see the thumbnail. We're going to be making some Jamaican meat patties. You know, when I went over to Montego Bay, I enjoyed it. So we're going to start with the filling. I'm going to show you how to make an amazing filling with some great ingredients. But most importantly, the dough. You guys, I'm going to show you how to make a flaky, easy dough. Let's get into it.
All right, so first we're going to be doing is, you know what I'm saying, these are all the ingredients for the meat that we're going to have in the meat patty. You know, so we're gonna make our minced meat. So we got ground meat, you got onions, bell peppers, green onions, garlic, Scotch bonnet peppers, or habanero if you can't find that, soy sauce, a pimento seed or allspice, and thyme. You know, you can do fresh thyme, it's up to you. But these are all the ingredients you need. Let's get over and cook it up the meat. All right, so first things first is we're gonna be adding the garlic oil. Add some garlic oil in. Now, like I said, flavor's your friend, you get, guys, and we're gonna be stacking flavors, guys. So next thing you wanna do is add in your 1 pound of ground beef, lean, fat, it's up to you. 80-20, 90-10, it's up to you. So we're gonna actually start off cooking this meat without any seasoning. You're gonna just break it up. All we're doing is browning it. We're not gonna fully cook it through right now because once we add in the vegetables later, you know, you're gonna see why. So get it to a color you like. And we'll add the flavors over time. So all we're gonna be doing is browning it up. All right, so we're gonna get ready to take it out. It might seem like still got a little pinkness, but like I said, this is not, you know, we're not finished with it as of yet. So we're gonna put it back in after we, you know, saute the vegetables. So added about a tablespoon of beef bouillon. This is gonna be added in with the vegetables. So I just want to add a little flavor. Now it's time to add in your vegetables. First things first, your onions. Alrighty. Your onions. Bell peppers. I like red, good color. And last but not least, your garlic. I like a lot of garlic. And if y'all wondering what's the recipe, look in the description to follow along. I'll have all the ingredients, you know, all the ingredients, measurements and everything. So just stir it around and saute it down. All right, so we're gonna be adding our flavors and our seasonings. First thing first, you know, so add your pimento seeds ground up or all-purpose seasoning. Like I said, all the ingredients going to be in the description below. Add your thyme. Oh, and if I didn't say, I already added my Scotch bonnets in here. Alrighty. Now this is where you get all your flavor from for your meat. So just saute it up before we add back into the meat. Now, if you don't want to do that step and you want to skip a step, what you can do is, you know, without having to add all of that stuff, you can actually buy this oxtail marinade. It's really good. It has everything you need. You don't have to have all the other ingredients, you know, as far as the spices. This has the salt, the heat, the pimento, also too, as well as the soy sauce, you know, any and other all ingredients that go into the patty meat. So if you want to skip step, go grab one of these from the store. Now I almost forgot. Add in your green onions, your scallions. All right, so now we got everything in here. Look like all the Jamaican colors, right? Green, red, yellow. I think we all in here. All right, let's cook all this stuff down. and get that meat in there. All right, now when you get it to this point, you know, salt has softened up. Now it's time to add in your meat back into it. So add everything, liquid and all, back into your meat. Mix everything in. Now while you're doing this is where your soy sauce comes into play. Add your soy sauce in. See, I added a little bit. Now you can follow the instructions I have in the description below, but because I'm adding in a little bit of this, gives it a little kick. You know what I'm saying? It has its own little bit of salt. That's all you need. All right. Put the temperature back up on medium heat. Stir in all the flavors. All right, now this is where you'll make your panade, which is a bread thickener. This is how you thicken it up. Or you get some cornstarch. Cornstarch is thickening it up just as well. You know, I think I'm gonna use some cornstarch. I'm not gonna use panade this time, but I have the ingredients on how to do it in the description below. Panade is a really good one. I normally put my panade in my meatloaf, but this time I didn't want to put it in here. I just wanted it to be all Grated beef. I think we got enough bread with the crust. All right, so let this saute down. I'm gonna add the cornstarch next. All right, so I forgot the one step. I did add in the panade or cornstarch, like I said earlier. So that thickened it up. You see how it is. So we're getting ready to emulsify it, which blend it. You know, if you have a hand mixer, food processor, you know, or you have a blender, you can blend it down. So I'm gonna do half of this, you know, because I still want a little texture in my meat patty. All right, so finish this up and get over to the mixer. All right, so we're gonna get ready to blend up half part of this meat. Just put it in your blender or your food processor, whatever's easier for you. All right, that's about a good half. Leave a little, like I said, on the side for texture. You don't want to blend it all the way up to you lose the actual texture of your meat. All right, so let's get to blending it up. We'll pulse it first. I think that's good enough. What y'all think? I think it's minced up enough. It's still got some kind of texture in it. Add everything back in the bowl. And we don't want to waste nothing. All right, you guys. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, minced up. All right, mix it in with the meat that you already have. Yeah, that's how you want it to look. Nice, still thick. So now all we gotta do is just stick it in the fridge, cool it off, and get the dough ready to be made up. Now, these are all the ingredients you need. You know, we're about to get into making the patty dough. First thing first, when making the patty crust, and you wanna, now I normally put my butter or Beef Suet, or you can do lard, but today I'm using butter because I couldn't find no Beef Suet, but that's a really good one. Makes it really, really flaky. This is one way, a method. So grade your butter. Now, the only way you can grade this butter is if it's frozen or cold to the really hard. So it's gonna come out really, really. And this is what we're gonna fold into our batter and on our crust. All right, so first thing you want to do, we're gonna be adding in all our dry ingredients first. We have the butter or your beef sweat on cool right now in the refrigerator, so it won't melt. So you in order to make a flaky crust, you gotta have it cold. All right, so add in your 3.5 cups of flour into your processor. Now you can do this by hand; it's up to you. But much faster, less mess. Put it in the mixer. So this is the food processor I like to use. Alrighty, then we'll add in now that's like I said, 3.5 cups, and this is 2 tablespoons of turmeric, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and what normally people add in a half of a teaspoon of salt, but I got a trick. So what you want to do is I like to add a little flavor beyond salt. So what I do is I add in about half a tablespoon of chicken bouillon into my water. So your ice water. Next will be your ice water, but I'm actually go to the refrigerator because I told you I'm gonna keep everything on ice. So I kept the beef sweat on ice. Let me first do is mix all these ingredients up first before I get it out the refrigerator. Let's do that first. All right. So we're just mixing it up. Make sure everything is mixed all together first. So it might be a little loud, so just post it. Not too loud. All right. So we're just posting it down, just getting everything, incorporated all together and mixed before we add in the flour and before we add in the water. So before we add in all those ingredients, we're gonna do this first. All right, so now that we got the butter, now this is salted butter. That's why if you notice, you didn't see too much salt being added in. But if you want to regulate the salt, you can get unsalted butter. In beef sweat, you don't have to be salty. But since we're using butter and it already has salt in it, we're gonna add it in. Now, this is a key. Use a cold spoon to scoop it in, because remember, we wanna keep it cold. Mind you, we still have more butter that we're gonna be adding in. This is just the first part of it. The other one we're gonna do when we fold it into the dough. Alrighty, so everything in. Put it to the side. Put the top on, and all you wanna do is post this as well. Once it starts beating up, that's where you got it, where you need it to. So that's all we're doing, it's just beating it up. All right, so now it came to a little consistency. It's like a little crumbly. If you look, see like that, that's how you want it. It becomes like a little ball, a little something like that. When you add your cold water, it's gonna come together. Start it on up. All right, so when it gets to this consistency that you see, where it starts forming like a ball, it's time to start taking it out. So what I did do is I added probably a half a cup more water in there to, it was still a little bit much more dry. So you might add that in there, just a little bit more water. Water is something you got to play with as far as with ice water, for it to come to us consistency of the ball-like form you're looking for. So all right, so I'm about to really change it up, flour the board up, and we'll get to kneading it in and adding in the rest of the butter. All right, so first thing you want to do before you start kneading your dough is flour down your workstation. All righty. Now, if it feels like it's a little bit wet, that's okay. That's what you want. So just knead it down to your liking. Now this is the consistency you want it in. Alrighty. Get my rolling pin. Now what you can do, flour down your rolling pin. Keep it from sticking. All right. Now you see how I'm doing it. I'm doing it like in a cylinder. I'm gonna keep it that way. So when we add in our flour, add in our butter, we can make the layers. All right, so let's roll it out. Alrighty, there we go. Let me get over to get the rest of the cold butter, and we're gonna be adding on to make the layers. All right, so now you want to add, this is how you add your layers, to make your, like I said, for your crust to be flaky. All right, so fold them on top of each other. Alrighty. You gotta hurry up and do it, because sometimes if it gets melty, the butter. So I'm gonna keep it cold. So right now it's cold. But as soon as I start putting my hands on it, it starts melting. So, so it's something you can't take your time, can't walk away from it in order to make that layer right. All right, so fold it over, fold it over, and fold it over. All right, so you wanna have a loaf looking like this. And this is where you're gonna be kneading in. You're gonna be rolling it out. Yep, and that's how you do it. Just fold it in. Fold it in, fold it in. Now, if you want to add, like I said, some more butter to it, you can, but you don't want to overly, like I said, knead your dough. I'm gonna add a little flour. All right, the dough is ready. So what I'm gonna do is just put it in a bowl, put it in the refrigerator, let it stay on cold until it's time for us to cut it out. So. All right, so now that the dough is fully done, I let it chill in the refrigerator for about a good 30 minutes to an hour to, get a little bit stiffened up. I'm gonna take it out. Well, first thing first, let me add some flour to the board. Maybe a little. All right, we're gonna roll it out so we can fill up these meat patties. All right. Just roll it out. It's a lot of dough. And don't forget to actually add a little flour into your rolling pin too as well. Now we're not gonna use all of this. I made enough, probably you can do about probably a 10 or a dozen of them depending on how thick you do it, but you don't want that too thick. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this. Now all these tools that I'm using, they're going to be in the store. Helps a long way if you support the channel. Buy some equipment that you can use and stuff like that. In your kitchen to make the same. Patty. So we're gonna roll it out. If you notice, I folded on top of each other because there's all layers, guys. And that's the key to having a flaky crust. All right, so you can actually cut this out with a knife. But I'm trying to be a little bit neat with it, so I'm gonna use this bowl to cut out some circles. So go all the way towards the end so you can use as much dough as possible, to make a perfect good circle. Just rock it back and forth. And there you go, that's how you get your size. Now you keep doing that, like I said, to the next one. And just go on, keep doing it. That's how you do it, but you don't have to do it this way. You can get a knife, and cut a circle. You can do it, like some of the stores do, where you go get your patties at, and prick them with a fork if you like. But saying this is how make it look nice and neat, especially if you have your company over. But if you just want to eat it, with no problem. If you want to roll it out, because see it looks shrunk a little bit, just roll it out a little bit more. All right. And that's all you need to do. All right, so this is gonna be a vital tool. I'll show you right here. If you watch my empanada video, this comes really, really in handy, really nice. You know, and the reason why I use this bowl is because it fits the same size. So that's why I say if you want to roll it out, which that's what I did, you know, to get the size, that's all you got to do. But, you know, I'm about to roll these out in a little bit, you know, but we're going to get the filling and filling them up. All right, so, you know, just got them rolled out, you know, in a perfect little circle. What I'm going to do is just the minced meat, you know, I let it cool off in the refrigerator. You know, I didn't want it to be hot, so minced meat and stuff like that. Now, this, I really love this. You know, what you can do is just push it down and squeeze it together, guys. So squeeze as much as you can. Make sure it's crimped. Now, if you don't have one of these, you know what I'm saying, what you can do is just use a fork, you know what I'm saying, and do it. And that's all it is. You know, now you just open it up, take it out, put it on your parchment sheet or whatever like that. And don't forget to put your oven on 350 degrees. Now I'm gonna show you one more, and then we're gonna get ready to put them in the oven. All right, so get about a half. I think it's like a. Sorry, I didn't mean to say half a cup. This is 1/4 cup. I know y'all probably like, man, that's a lot. I don't look like that. So yeah, no, 1/4 cup. All right, put the patty in here. Now, I did forget a step. I'm gonna show you what I did. So here it is right here. Put it in the middle, spread it out. And what I forgot is to run the finger around the edges with water so it can stick, so it can adhere. So just do that all the way around. Now you can do this with egg, you can do this with, like I said, water, it's up to you. Water works well when it comes on the dough. You just squeeze it closed. And that's it, just squeeze it all the way around. Alrighty. Take it out your mold and put it wherever you're gonna be put it on your baking sheet. Now my baking sheet over here. Actually, I'm just putting it on the side until I can get to my baking sheet. But yeah, and that's all it is. So let me finish this up, and I'll be putting them on the in the oven. All right. So before you stick it in there, make sure you prick it. So prick it about 3 times. This keeps it from rising the dough, and also to busting. So let's do that all of them. So since I had a cheese, I'm gonna do an X on that one, so I know which one that is. All right. Oh, and another thing, I did see a little trick. So in order for your patties not to look like it's floured all up, just add a little water on top and stuff like that. If you wanted to, like, do a little shine, add some egg. But you know, since we want to try to make it as authentic as possible to make these beef patties, you know, like the Jamaicans do, then that's what we're gonna do. But all right, you guys. So I'll see you when this is done.
Preheat your oven on 350 degrees. Leave it in there for 20 to 30 minutes until golden brown.
All right, you guys. So I just took it out the oven. I had it in there for about 20 minutes on 350 degrees. So, you know, it just depends on everybody's oven or how it cooks, but it was really, came out really good, you guys. Also, too, you know what I'm saying, when you actually, you know, rolling out your dough, make sure it's about 3 inches in thickness. You know, I forgot to say that, so I wanted to let you know. So, you know, let's break one of these open, you know, because they smelling good, y'all. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Hot. You see that bad boy? Looking good. Dough great. So like this. Let me try it out. See how it tastes, guys. Whew. Winner. Pate dinner. This is good, guys. You know, thanks for coming on by. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know I did. This is my first time trying it out, and I think I did a great job. So if you want to make your own jerk patties at home, definitely follow this recipe to the T, guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. And let me know if you got a different way that you make patties if you've ever tried it before. I'm your Chef KC, and I'll see you guys in the next class because I got to finish eating this. All right, take care.